Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Passport to Crime podcast, where borders blur, stories echoes, and justice is never just a local affair. I'm Oakley, your host, and today we're diving into a case that doesn't just haunt the sea, it haunts a nation. Ireland. The year 1968. A country steeped in a myth, a resilience, and quiet revolution. Still healing from centuries of colonial rule. Still navigating its post-independence identity. The Celtic Tiger was decades away, and the troubles were beginning to stir in the north. But then, in the south, life moved slowly, marked by tradition, community, and a deep connection to land and sea. Aer Lingus, the national airline, wasn't just a mode of transport, it was a symbol of progress, a green and white aircraft cutting through the clouds. Connecting Ireland to the wider world for many flying was still a novelty, a promise of opportunity, and a bridge between rural life and cosmopolitan dreams. Flight 712 was a routine flight. Cork to London, a short hop across the Irish Sea. But what happened that morning would leave a scar on the national psyche, and a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. This is the story of Aer Lingus Flight 712, a tragedy, a silence, and a question that still echoes over Tuskar Rock. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This episode contains descriptions of fatal aviation accident and may be distressing to some listeners. Listener discretion is strongly advised. The month is March 24, and the year is 1968. It's a Sunday morning, and Aer Lingus Flight 712, a Vickers Viscount 803, named St. Phelim, departs Cork Airport, en route to London Heathrow. On board, 57 passengers, 4 crew members, families, couples, and a young boy travelling home after a weekend in Cork. At 10:32 a.m, the aircraft takes off. At 10:58 a.m, a garbled transmission is received in the air control tower. 12,000 feet descending, spinning rapidly. Then, silence. The plane crashes into the St. George's Channel, near Tuskar Rock. Off the coast of County Wexford, all 61 lives are lost. The wreckage is scattered across the seabed. Recovery efforts are swift, but incomplete. Only about 60 to 65% of the aircraft was ever recovered. And of course, there's the question that still haunts Ireland to this day. What happened to Flight 712? The official investigation began immediately, led by Ireland's Department of Transport and Power. It lasted 2 years, but despite extensive efforts, including trawling the seabed, analysing recovered wreckage, and reviewing the air traffic control tapes, the final report offered no definitive cause. It concluded, there is not enough evidence available on which to reach a conclusion of reasonable probability as to the initial cause of this accident. That line became infamous, a bureaucratic shrug if you look at it honestly, and for many, a betrayal. But these theories didn't stop. A bird strike causing catastrophic engine failure, a missile test gone wrong, possibly British military, a collision with a drone or experimental aircraft, structural failure due to mental fatigue, none proven and definitely none ruled out. In year 2000, after decades of pressure from grieving families and journalists, a joint Irish-UK review was launched. This time, the investigators acknowledged the possibility that another airborne object, like a drone or missile, may have been in the vicinity of Flight 712 at the time of the crash. But again, no conclusive evidence was ever found. The UK Ministry of Defence denied involvement, and the silence continued. The review also revealed inconsistencies in witness statements, gaps in radar data, and missing maintenance records. It raised more questions than it answered, and for the families, it reopened wounds that had never truly healed. Let's pause here, because this isn't just about aviation. It's about how institutions respond to tragedy. It's about how the human cost of secrecy. And it's about remembering those who we're lost, not as statistics, but as people. Among the victims, a mother and her 2 daughters returning from a family visit in Ireland, a young man heading back to London after a weekend in Cork, a priest travelling to officiate a wedding, and a child flying alone to reunite with relatives. 61 lives and 61 individual stories, each one interrupted mid-sentence. And for decades, those stories were left in limbo. No closure, no justice, just a cold sea and a colder silence. Today, there is a memorial in Roeselare, County Wexford. It stands quietly, facing the sea, and every year families gather to remember, to speak the names, to keep their memory alive. Because even when the truth is elusive, remembrance is resistance. Aer Lingus Flight 712 isn't just a mystery, it's a mirror reflecting how nations handle grief, how governments handle accountability, and how communities carry the weight of unanswered questions. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found this episode meaningful, consider sharing it, like and subscribe. And if you have thoughts, stories or theories about Flight 712, I'd love to hear from you on our Instagram at the Passport to Crime Podcast. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and never stop asking questions. This is the Passport to Crime Podcast. I'm Oakley, signing off.